Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. This is webinar number 6, and the title we're going to talk about this evening is Healthy Home and Body. So I'm going to jump right in to stay on time. So what we're going to talk about in this webinar is detoxing your home. A lot of us have never heard of that before. When we think of detox, we think of the body and drinking green juice for 10 days and then we're all cleansed and that's it. As a health coach, a lot of people ask me, how often do you cleanse? And even though I do more in-depth cleanses with doTERRA's cleanse program at least twice a year, really I am working to detox my body every single day. And how I do that, and that doesn't mean I'm on the green juice every single day and doing a full-on detox, but what I do daily is work very hard to push toxins out of not just my body, but out of my environment as well. So that's what we mean by detox my home. So, we can control, and we're more familiar with eating organic and, steering clear of pesticides on foods, but really, we do have to be more and more concerned about what's in our environment that can possibly be making us sick. So we don't necessarily have to be eating it, but it could be something in our products that we're using, cleaners, and we'll get into all of that. So, and also look at not being misled, okay, because there's a lot of what we call greenwashing out there. And what's the big deal anyway, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's no harm, no big deal, but it actually is. And I'd like for you to think about, hopefully at the end of this presentation, about being your own advocate in order to make change, and easy DIYs we can do, as well as I will provide you with resources. So talking about greenwashing, don't be misled. So companies will try to persuade you into thinking their product is cleaner. They will either make the product itself green, or they'll make the packaging or the bottle green so that you think it's a cleaner product. Use of the words natural really has no meaning in anything. Natural and even organic, there are no legal definitions of those words, and there are no laws required to regulate the use of words like natural and organic on cosmetics and personal care products. So careful with those terms, and you really, really have to do your own homework. So just to give you a few examples, on a typical cleaning day in a typical Canadian home, levels of chemicals in the indoor air can be hundreds, even thousands of times higher than the outdoor air in the most polluted of cities. So think about that for a moment. That's actually pretty scary. In fact, indoor pollution levels would be high enough to trigger an inspection by health and safety authorities in any workplace setting. So that's pretty scary. And if you think about it, and I have done this in the past, when we have to clean our shower, say, open up the door, hold your breath, spray the product, slam the door, and run out of the bathroom, right? Because we don't want to be inhaling all those toxins. Or sometimes it'll even say on the bottle, use in a well-ventilated area. In the summer, we can open up the windows while we clean. So definitely something to think about there, and what you're using for cleaning products in your home, because it could be damaging. More than 10,000 ingredients are allowed for use in personal care products, and we women wear approximately 515 of them every single day. So there's really no research into how all of these chemicals are interacting with one another and what effect that has on us in the body. When these chemicals, if they are tested, and 9 chances out of 10 they're not, it's with one product, and how that one chemical, not product, chemical, how that one chemical affects our skin, say. But there's really nothing saying how 515 chemicals worn on our body every day can impact our health. We're really walking chemical experiments. So out of almost 100,000 chemicals introduced since the 1940s, only 5% have been tested for safety. Pre-market approvals are not required in US and Canada. So a lot of us think, well, I go into a drugstore, surely it wouldn't be allowed on the shelf if it weren't safe. Not so. You have to do your own homework. So without any approvals required, you don't know what kind of ingredients are in there and whether they're safe for long-term use. And the European Union has restricted over 1,300 chemicals. Canada has a guideline for about 650, while the FDA has only banned 11. So European Union is way, way ahead of us when it comes to chemical safety and cosmetics and products. But US and Canada, we are not quite up to par when it comes to that. So what's the big deal anyway, right? So like I said, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, surely it's not a big deal. So there's a lot of these products. I'll mention just a few, but this is really just scratching the surface. So take, for example, parabens. We may have heard of these. They're preservatives with antibacterial properties. And they're often used in personal care products, particularly deodorants. They act as a preservative, but they are known endocrine disruptors. They can irritate the skin and even cause reproductive toxicity. So if you look at an ingredient list, it'll be preceded by the prefixes of methyl, ethyl, butyl, or propyl parabens, but you will see it on the ingredients listings. And they're absorbed through the skin and have been found in biopsy tissue from breast cancer tumors. So there are alternatives rather than using products with parabens. Sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate, which is supposed to be the lesser of the two evils. This chemical, synthetic chemical, actually began as an industrial degreaser. So I guess somebody thought, it lathers really well and it cleans the grease off our garage floors. So perhaps it might be great as a shampoo to get the grease out of our heads. So this is something that's way too harsh for us and also is not safe. So by creating the sodium laureth sulfate, there would have been exposure to 1,4-dioxane, which is considered a probable carcinogen. So you want to stay away from products that contain these ingredients as well. Phthalates. Now this one is a little bit sneaky. Phthalates are pretty much everyone in the general population is exposed to phthalates from one source or another. And they're found in many products from soft plastics and air fresheners to shampoos and nail polish. They're known to increase estrogens, which is associated with cancers. And they're really used to enhance fragrances to make them last longer. So there are often times when my girls will have friends over and I will walk into my own home and I know exactly who is in the house because I can smell their laundry detergent before I even see who is in my house. And if you think about that, that's phthalates. And so think about those laundry detergents where they claim that the smell will last for months and months. Natural smells aren't supposed to last for months and months. Glade plugins, things like that. So you want to be careful and do your best to remove these things out of your home. When it comes to laundry detergent, there are lots of really nice alternatives out there that do not have phthalates if you do your homework. And they're actually banned in California and the European Union for use in children's toys. And for several years, for quite a long time now, the European Union has banned forms of phthalates from use in cosmetics, but Canada and the US, there's really no restrictions on any phthalate use in cosmetics. And like I said, they're sneaky, so they're difficult to avoid because you won't see phthalates on ingredient listings. And the reason why is because they are hidden under fragrance, the term fragrance, and parfum. So you're hard pressed to find a cosmetic product out there that doesn't have fragrance in it or parfum. And this term can actually really mean up to hundreds of chemicals. And companies don't have to disclose what's in them because they're considered trade secret. So they include hidden chemicals and most often including phthalates. So it's a bit sneaky, but there are ways that we can avoid this and remove this from our environment. And another one I like to talk about is triclosan. So originally a pesticide, is considered a neurotoxin. Triclosan, it's a synthetic antibacterial chemical added to soaps, toothpaste, mouthwash, deodorant, shaving cream, all kinds of personal care products. and has been detected in human breast milk as well. So, like I said, they're known endocrine disruptors. And really, I mean, you'll see it in antibacterial soaps. The FDA in some states has banned it in antibacterial soaps, but it's still in toothpaste, for example, and other products. And there's really no evidence that soaps with triclosan are any more effective in killing bacteria than simple plain soap and water. And the Canadian Medical Association has been calling on the federal government to ban the use of triclosan in consumer products because it's contributing to antibacterial resistance. And if any of you are familiar with this topic, antibacterial resistance is the biggest threat to human health currently. So how many of you have gone to your doctor for an infection and took one antibiotic and it didn't work, so you had to take a second one and it didn't work, and maybe even a third one where they bring out the big guns? And a lot of the times it's unfortunate, but it's not necessary, but is an indication of bacterial resistance. It's a huge problem. And I mean, on the upside, essential oils are naturally antibacterial. They're also antiviral, they're antimicrobial, they're antifungal. So they have all these properties in and of themselves. They're straight from plants, no adulteration, no synthetics. And there are actually studies out there showing that essential oils can kill MRSA, which is a deadly bacterial virus. So something to think about with that for sure. I'm going to try to play this. And this is just a little clip from Woody Harrelson on being your own advocate. So being more aware of what's in your home, what you're putting on your body, what you're cleaning your home with, how it can affect your family, your pets. So I'll just see if I can play this successfully.
We've got into the habit of buying junk fast foods that have no actual food in them. We buy gallons of poisonous household cleaners when one degradable soft soap will do. We are poisoning our homes and wasting our hard-earned money for no good reason. Why? Because the advertising industry tells us to. They just want you to buy stuff. For example, if a company pollutes the environment or uses bad business practices, if you don't buy their stuff, they will change. If you don't want food with chemicals or GMOs in it, then don't buy it. The minute we start taking responsibility and spending our money wisely, every politician, every corporation, and leader around the world is going to know that we have woken up. This is the 21st century. If we use our resources wisely, there's no reason why anyone shouldn't have what they need. There's no reason whatsoever why people are still starving to death on our planet. And the common man or woman, whether they are Israeli or Palestinian, Protestant or Catholic or Iraqi or American, the common man just wants to live in peace and justice in a clean environment. When we look around the world and we see that that is not the case, we know that the will of the majority is not being listened to. That's the first sign that our system is broken. Government won't make these changes for us. Yet again, it is down to the common man. No company will continue a practice or a product that you, the consumer, will not buy. It's vitally important that you understand this because this gives you ultimate power to change the world you live in. Companies are extremely sensitive about you buying their products because if you don't buy their stuff, they go out of business. That's not something any company is willing to consider. And by choosing to spend your money wisely, you can promote those companies that do business in a socially responsible way.
So a little food for thought, basically. And like you said, we can vote with our dollar. So if we're not happy with ingredients that you're seeing in a product, don't buy it. And support other companies that are, like you said, socially responsible and go the extra mile to provide a clean product for you. So this is something, when I say I detox your home, this is what I mean. Choosing products that won't harm you, that are not endocrine disruptors, and okay if it gets on your child's hands and they're eating it, and or your pets as well. So what are some things you can do? So easy DIYs. I mean, I was never a crafty person. no Martha Stewart or anything like that. But some of these DIYs literally just take minutes to put together. And I have made all of these things very easily. You can go to doTERRA blog. So if you go to doTERRA.com and hover over our advocates to the left, you'll see doTERRA blog, product science and business, if you're interested in that. And you'll see endless DIYs, recipes, things you can do using products that we often have in our own kitchen, or simple things that you can get at your health food store, and also using essential oils for the benefits of those. So I've made my own body butters. I don't wear perfumes. I wear essential oil blends as my perfumes. Things like Whisper is a favorite of mine, or I often wear Cheer or Hope. All kinds of those really nice blends that come in the rollers that are nice and easy and as your own personal fragrance. I make my own skin serum really easily with some of the most precious oils out there, like rose and jasmine, sandalwood, blue tansy, all of these oils that are beautiful for the skin and so easy to do and inexpensive compared to what you could buy out there when it comes to skin products. Mouthwash, toothpaste, hand sanitizer, cleaners, especially cleaners, really. I mean, we need baking soda, vinegar, and water and essential oils for the antibacterial benefits. That is what I clean my home with. I've pushed out I've gotten rid of everything, any chemical cleaners in my home you won't find. And I'm not saying you need to run through your house and throw out everything you have overnight, because it can be expensive. But what I did, it took me a long time. So as I ran out of one thing, I just didn't replace it, or I replaced it with a DIY or a doTERRA product. So doTERRA has all of these products listed except for the mouthwash that you can buy that are safe, do not have any nasty chemicals in them, and also include the benefits of essential oils. So just something to think about, and go to the doTERRA blog or even Pinterest, and you can find all kinds of ideas on how to do these things. And the power of essential oils. So if you're in this group and listening to this presentation, you already have essential oils, so I don't need to get into what they are. In a nutshell, they are the essence of the plant, and they protect the plant from predators and disease. And in the manner they protect the plant, they can protect us as well. And we use them aromatically, we use them topically, and if you're using a high quality oil like doTERRA's, you can use them internally as well for benefits. And things you want to be careful of is quality. Quality really, really does matter. So you're not getting a quality oil if you're picking it up at Winners or Walmart or the supermarket. Those are not pure oils, and most likely will have synthetics added to them, which the whole point of this presentation is for you to push chemicals and synthetics out of your home, not add them in. And really, when it comes to purity and potency, the only way to know that your oil is pure is to see third-party testing results yourself. And doTERRA provides that for you on our site called sourcetoyou.com. And potency really depends on where the plant is grown. So doTERRA sources all of its oils where the plants grow indigenously, and they are planted, harvested in the right environments. And doTERRA partners, they teach sustainable practices by partnering with these generational farmers and harvesters, growers, and works with them to create a quality product and teaching them sustainable practices so that they have this for generations to come in their families. And complete transparency. If you want to know more about where doTERRA oils are sourced and see testing results yourself, you can go to sourcetoyou.com. And I wanted to provide you with a few resources on how you can learn more about detoxing your home and being more cautious with products that you're using. A favorite site of mine is called lesstoxicguy.ca. So the chemicals I talked about, like parabens, phthalates, triclosan, that is just scratching the surface. So if you go to lesstoxicguy.ca, they'll list all of those products and explain in detail why they are a problem. with all of the studies and everything posted there as well. If you want to get into all those details, I highly recommend that site, and they'll recommend good products as well. Also, Environmental Working Group's Skin Deep Cosmetics Database. You can search this online. There's also an app, and I absolutely love this site. So what they do is they rate products on a scale of 1 to 10 on how clean the product is based on their rating system. So I always refer to this database when I'm using a product. And I will also, because I'm a little geeky like that, I will cross-reference with Think Dirty, Shop Clean. So that's an app as well, very similar to the cosmetics database, where you can enter a product and it'll give a rating, also on 1 to 10 on how clean it is. But the Environmental Working Group, if you want to search for, so say if you want a mascara and you're looking for a clean line, you can just search mascara and it'll give you a listing of clean products that have the lowest rating according to their scale. And like I said, doTERRA blog is full of unlimited resources on how you can work to detox your home. And that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will stop the recording and answer any questions.